Hi everyone, my name is Emily Pope. I am saying a prayer that this is my last time trying to record this video because I never realized how hard it is to take a 15-minute video of yourself without messing up, and this is probably my 20th take. So, fingers crossed. A little bit about me. I am originally from Naperville, Illinois, so a suburb of Chicago. I got my undergraduate degree at Illinois State University in Normal, Illinois, and I graduated last May with a bachelor's in nutrition and dietetics. I jumped right into my master's program, so this is my second semester here, and I am very thankful to be here. I think my passion for nutrition and dietetics is a little bit unique. My 7th grade health teacher was actually a former dietitian, and she would constantly tell us about all of her amazing experiences in the dietetics world and how rewarding it was to see patients, and just all of everything that she got to do as a dietitian was so amazing that I guess my 7th grade brain knew that this is what I wanted to do for the rest of my life, and luckily enough, I have stuck with it, and I still have that same passion today. So I was able to go to FNCE last year in Washington, D.C., and that experience really confirmed that this is what I want to do for the rest of my life, which was so rewarding to know, to have such a firm belief that this is what I want. And it was also just so unique to be able to learn from so many dietitians and entrepreneurs and even doctors who we normally don't get to learn from, but it was just really refreshing coming back, and I felt so motivated to finish out this school year and to finish out this program so that I can finally be out there in the dietetics community doing what I love. So I'm very lucky to be so passionate about this. Winter break was much needed, but I am ready. I'm feeling refreshed to take on this second semester. On the side, I am a part-time employee. I'm a financial planning assistant with Ameriprise Financial, which when I got hired, I thought was extremely out of my realm. But if you ever want to know anything about the stock market, investments, how to invest money, send me a text or email and I will be happy to help because it's not as scary as it sounds. I also waitress part-time, but not that much because I think I would have way too full of a plate if I did. And things that I enjoy. I am a very avid plant mom, if you can't tell from my little plant ladder over here. And I love traveling, reading. That's about it. So moving on to what I think a leader is. I have thought about this for the past 4 days, and I still cannot come up with a solid answer, which I'm hoping that I'm not the only one who struggled with that. I think that I have a really good vision or mental picture of what a good leader is, but putting it into words is so hard because I think it's such a fluid concept. I don't think that there's one right answer. There's these 10 things that make a good leader, or I think it's so hard to really just put into words all that a good leader encompasses. So I tried. I came up with 5 key qualities or characteristics, but I don't think that a good leader is limited to this list by any means. I just think this covers a lot of ground. So I had to write them down because I thought that I would forget them. So my first one is faith. So I think that any good leader really needs to have faith and strong beliefs in whatever it is they are trying to accomplish. So I think that anyone can be a so-so leader. You can kind of believe in what you're trying to accomplish or what you're trying to do, who you're trying to lead, but if you don't have like a deep down core belief in whatever it is you're doing, I don't think that you're going to be as effective as you could be. So I think that either the leader needs to develop this as they are becoming a more and more effective leader, or they need to have this in advance and then become a leader, if that makes any sense. So that's my first quality. My second quality kind of goes hand in hand with that. It's just confidence in both themselves and within the people that they work with or the people that work under them or whoever else may be contributing to this overall goal. I think that the leader needs to have so much confidence in those people and in themselves to really fully effectively get the job done. Because if you think about it, if a leader doesn't fully believe in what they're going for or have any belief in themselves, it's going to be so much easier for them to just give up, which is sad, but I think that a good leader should have the confidence of knowing they're a good leader and therefore instill that confidence in others. So that's my second quality. My third quality is a little bit unique, and I think it's sacrifice. So I think that a good leader really needs to know how to sacrifice any resource that's going to help them achieve this final goal. So whether it's time, money, ideas, other resources that are going to help them accomplish this goal, a leader needs to know how to be selfless enough to give up those things for the overall good of the project. So I think a lot of times it's time, whether it's time spent training, time spent counseling, time spent putting their own work into this project. I think that an effective leader, if they're not willing to sacrifice any of these resources, it's going to be either extremely inefficient or isn't going to work. My fourth quality, I think, is probably what most people said, which is respect, and not only respecting others, but earning the respect of others. Because if you're in a workplace or in a setting where you need to work with others and there's no sense of respect, nobody's going to want to work together to accomplish this goal or this task or this project. If you take a dietitian, for example, if they don't have the respect of the doctors and nurses and surgeons, why would those people want to help the dietitian accomplish whatever it is that needs to be accomplished? Whereas if they all had mutual respect for one another, they would hear each other out. They would help out. They would provide resources. I think that respect is the foundation upon which anything can be successful. If there's not respect within you and other people, this goes beyond just leaders too. This is just kind of a good human quality in my opinion. But I think that having the respect of others and knowing how to respect others and just really having such a strong connection with other people, I think that it's going to be more efficient, more productive, more successful. I think it's really just the boundary on which everything else should be made. My last quality is investing in others. So I think that a really good, really effective leader knows a very hefty amount about the people they work with or the people that work under them. While it might take more time to get to know everybody, you can at least learn their personality traits, their strengths, their weaknesses, how they handle stress, how they handle pressure. If you didn't know all these things, it's going to be so much more inefficient putting the wrong people in the wrong positions or giving them the wrong tasks, having them work with the wrong people. If you really take the time, I keep saying if a leader really takes the time to know about the people they work with or the people that work under them, I feel like they can effectively use those people to the best of their ability. And really, personality traits goes right along with that. If you understand each other and you understand how certain people react to certain situations, it'll be so much easier to designate tasks and work with one another and form work groups and whatever it is. I think that having a good foundation of knowledge of all the people that you're working with, or most of the people that you're working with, is just going to benefit everyone in the end. So those were my 5. Again, like I said, I think there are so many more qualities that go into that, but those are kind of general ones that cover most of the boundaries. So an example of a leadership experience that I had, I was involved in multiple student organizations on campus in my undergrad, and for one of them, I was actually the fundraising director. So I hadn't had a lot of experience in a leadership position before that, and this one was rather scary because I had to organize an event that 200 people were going to work and about 800 people were going to attend. So kind of threw myself into it. I was a little worried, and at first it didn't go well at all. Because as I was trying to plan, I didn't know enough about the people who were going to be working it, that they had no interest, I should say, I guess, in working it, in trying to help me accomplish this goal and trying to help make it successful. So they were just kind of thrown into it, and I was trying to make it work. I was trying to tell people like where to go, what to do, what they were going to be working, and it just was not being planned well. So I had to take a step back and reevaluate what I was doing, which I am extremely thankful that I did, because it turned out being extremely successful, and I don't think it would have been if I hadn't. So what I ended up doing was I created a Google Doc with all these 200 people who are going to be working on working at this event. And I just asked them basic things like, what are your interests? What motivates you? And the whole point of the fundraising event was we were raising money for breast cancer education and awareness. So I asked them why they cared and what was their purpose of signing up to work it what was their motivation, really? And once I received their answers, I was able to get a better feel for each individual. And then I was able to segment them into what I called work groups. So I was able to divide people based on their motivations and what they enjoyed to do. And then I fit that into what parts of the event they would be most compatible with. And once I took the time to get to know these people, and once I kind of got a mutual respect relationship with them, I think that they realized that I was trying to tailor it to their wants and their needs and their motivations, and then I was able to have a better understanding about why these people even wanted to do this. So I think that having that relationship really was the foundation on how this whole thing played out so well. And obviously, in addition to that, I ended up spending a lot of time. This goes back to my sacrifice quality. I spent a lot of time with each of the work groups, again, getting to know them, getting to know their thoughts and ideas, how they wanted to run this event, if they had any feedback, what wasn't going well, what they didn't like to do. And I think that really just having that communication with them and letting them suggest ideas and letting them work where they wanted to work ended up being so beneficial, because they were so much more willing and motivated and helping out. And so I think that it was a learning experience more than anything, because if I hadn't tried to reconfigure the way that I was running this event, it would have been an absolute failure. So that was hard to learn from, but it ended up being successful. And I think I really learned a lot about how to be a leader and what makes a good leader in that experience, because otherwise I don't know what I would have done. Finally, whether I'm most comfortable in a leadership or follower role, I think, again, this is something that I thought about for 4 days, and I still can't come up with a clear answer. So I think that it completely depends on the situation. So there are certain situations now where I would be extremely comfortable as a leader, and others where I am perfectly content being a follower. And I think that's okay. I think everybody has some degree of each in them. I think that I would be most comfortable in a leadership situation if it's with other people that I know. So for example, if I'm on a team and I'm designated the leader for a project and I know these people on the team well, then it's no problem, because like I said, I know who they are. I know their strengths, their weaknesses, what they enjoy. However, if it's a situation where I don't know anyone and I'm expected to be like a leader, I don't think that I would be an effective leader. So it's something that I'm trying to work on. But for example, when I was at FNCE, the president of the academy went up on stage in front of thousands of nutrition individuals, professionals, And she offered that if anyone needs help for them to reach out to her. And she was really just motivating and inspiring, and I idolized her that whole week because her ability to be a leader in that situation in a room full of thousands of people she didn't know was something that I don't think I will ever be able to do, no matter how good of a leader I will become. So I think, again, it just depends on the situation. I don't want to designate myself as either a leader or a follower, but I think that it's something that I can learn to be an effective one of each, or an effective leader or an effective follower. So I think it'll just take time and really learning more about myself to determine which I am more comfortable in. So I'm very proud of myself. We made it through 15 minutes, and I'm really excited to learn more about you guys through watching your videos, and I'm excited for a very productive semester. See you later.